Hey guys, Team Winning's Bryan again, going on with the deck marathon, deck streak, deck whatever you want to call it. Going back to my roots here. When I first started playing Vanguard some X number of months ago, I think I started playing in March or May of this year. Everyone else was pretty solid with what they wanted to play. A lot of people just had Kagero stuff laying around, and no one was playing Kagero. Everyone was on the Roll Paladin kick, or Oracle Think Tank, or Nova Grappler. No one wanted to play Kagero. So I ended up picking this as my deck just because no one was playing it, and it's pretty much what made me fall in love with it. This deck in particular has gone through a lot of changes, especially with set 3. Cavalry Black Steel has added some stuff, and I have changed my playstyle around a little bit. So with that being said, my starter here is Lizard Soldier Conroe. He is the only starter currently that's any good, so you will probably want to be playing him if you want to play Kagero. Ride a Kagero unit onto him, he moves out somewhere, and then you can counterblast one and retire him to go get any grade 1 or lower and add it to your hand. This can let you get your perfect guard, it can let you get a Kimnara, which lets you retire stuff. I'll show you all the choices here naturally as I go through my grade 1s. So let's go ahead and get him out of here. Farther out, there we go. And we'll go on to my triggers. My triggers, as everything else, is 884 lineup. I play 4 Blu-ray Draco Kid, which is just the new crit from set 3, I believe. Yes. And 4 Demonic Dragon Mage Rakasha. Now, people will probably ask why I'm not playing Tar. Honestly, it's 4 foils in my trade book that I'd rather just trade off if I have options to commons. Plus, I do retire a little bit in this deck off of my main phase, so if I need to, I can always put him in the back to pump something. I usually just block with him, though, so it doesn't really matter. Next up is I play 4 Dragon Dancer Monicas, which is the draw trigger. Again, at this point, people are probably going to ask why I'm not playing Gatling Claw Dragon. The main reason is in this current format, at least in my opinion, there's very few grade 0s that you can actually hit. I mean, Barkle's gone. You have mirror matches against Conroe, maybe Mecha Trainers, maybe Criffs, but they're very situational. And the thing about it is, if they really don't want to lose their thing, they're just not going to attack your Vanguard first turn. I find just having the 5k more useful because it helps setting up some 16k columns instead of just having the 4. So that's that, and then I have naturally 4 heal triggers like I have in every deck, and I'm just shuffling those out at the moment because I don't have the deck stacked. 4 Dragon Monk Ganjos. Basic heal trigger, nothing else to see here. Let's go ahead and get her out of the way. On to my grade 1s. Very first one, as with all my decks, 4 Perfect Guards, Wyvern Garbari. Play him in the Guardian Circle, drop an Arakami, or drop a Kagero, Kagero from your hand to graveyard, and target Kagero this turn can't be hit by the attack that's going on currently. So, naturally, you just play it because you don't want to get hit. Really good for late game. I think my first deck profile I was playing 3 Kimnaras. I've bounced that down to 2, mainly because now I'm playing a more Goku centralized build. So while I like using her to retire certain things in case I can't get the Goku off, usually I save Kimnara for, say, Little Battle Tron, any of those special Vanguard only ones that you want to do, like what is it? Yeah, Little Battle of Tron is a big one, and then there's a few others that are actually really good. Photon Bomber Wyvern's another one, so I keep her around just in case I need to get rid of those before they become too much of a problem. The next one, and this is a very new addition, and this came with a recent revelation actually, is I'm playing 4 Little Flame of Hope Ermos. I'm really trying to just push for 16k in here. I don't play anything that lets me really get up to the 20k number. So, Little Flame of Hope, when it boosts, if the unit hits, you can drop a card from your hand to draw another card. Really useful, especially on draw triggers. If you attack with your Vanguard and you get a draw trigger, then you can just pitch the draw trigger to draw something else. And also, since this is heavy grade 3 centralized in mid to late game, you can just use it to start pitching your grade 3s off to try and draw something with a shield on it. Next is 4 Embodiment of Armor bars. It's your classic 8K beater. Nothing else really to see here. On to the grade 2s. I play 3 Berserk Dragons. When it comes into play, Counterblast 2, retire any grade 2 or lower. Really good to kill interceptors. If you can't find your Kimnar and there's that grade 1 or grade 0 that just has to die, he's hungry and thinks everything's good with ketchup. So, really useful. And then, probably the other weird thing about this deck that people may find kind of interesting is I actually play 8 10K baiters. So I play 4 cross-shot Garps and 4 Dragon Knight Nahallams. The main reason for this is I haven't really found a whole lot of anything else that could be useful. Some people say to play Wyvern Strike Taegis. I'm kind of torn on that card, really, just because what Taegis would be swinging at is either something that Goku's going to kill on his drive check or something that I can just hit with a Kimnara. I'd rather have the 10K booster, just make it a little harder for me to get hit and then easier for me to push in the early to mid stages of the game. So let's go ahead and get them out of there. Then my grade 3s. The ironic part here is I play no Executioners. I have a reason. There's my Dragon Monk Gokus. These things are really good. Its ability is just when you drive check a grade 3, retire a grade 1 or lower. The best way for Kagero usually to fight something is to make it to where they can't boost a whole lot in the first place. Goku usually has a good advantage of taking cards out of their hand for them guarding him, and then taking cards off their field because he drive checks 3s. Make their columns weaker, and you make it a lot easier of a game, making it easier for you to guard. And then, my other one is I play 4 Draconic Overlords. Seems kind of like overkill. It's really not. A lot of people don't expect that 11K Vanguard just in case I miss my Goku ride. The Counterblast can also be used if you just haven't seen your Berserk Dragons or anything and you want to either push for cards. Pretty much just to push for cards, actually, because his ability, the Counterblast, can be used in Vanguard and Rearguard, so you can Counterblast the 3 and he gains the 5,000 power, and then if he kills a Rearguard, he stands. So, usually what I'll end up doing is I'll try and swing with the Overlord first and see if I can pressure a card out of their hand, and if I don't pressure a card, I usually kill a Rearguard, and then I go after the other Rearguard, and then I'll swing with Goku, hopefully drive check a grade 3 to blow up something else on the field, and that's just a lot of virtual, almost free card advantage outside of him. But even then, he's still very, very useful, especially if they waste cards to try and block him. Other than that, he's an 11K. What's not to like about 11Ks? There's nothing really strategic to show about this deck. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. The theme is just destroy everything, whether you actually swing at it or you use some ability or skill to get it off the board. Other than that, guys, comment, rate, subscribe, ask questions, yada yada, whole spiel you've probably heard 6 or 7 times if you're chain watching these videos. Other than that, that is the Kagero video. Team winning Bryan out. I'll have another video up in a minute.